Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Ray Dalton.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. And your come up, man, has been amazing. And your new music video, by the way, is awesome as hell too. We're definitely going to get into that.
Thank you,
But
thank you.
I feel like there hasn't been enough interviews talking about like your background. Like, from all I know is that you came out with you're on the Heist album with Macklemore, and then after that, your trajectory just went uphill. So like, how did you get your start in music actually?
Um, you know, when I think of start, I always think from like music because I always see myself as a singer. So like I always think in my mind, like, oh, I started singing just from listening to my parents' music. And then I joined a choir, children's choir, and then I joined a gospel choir. And in that gospel choir, my friend Camila Riccio, she introduced me to like the Seattle music scene, and a lot of rappers wanted a male vocalist, and it was something I was super interested in. And I had dabbled a little bit in songwriting, but not like as intense as I did with working with some of the rappers. And then that really got it all going to getting kind of into the music industry when I just was like, oh, I think it's cool because they're doing it on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it all started once I joined the choir and working with all the different rappers, and it kind of just fell into my lap with a lot of hard work, but
Yeah.
it seemed like it was just meant to be, if that
Wow.
makes sense.
Is is choirs and like gospel big in the Seattle area?
Um I think choirs in the South Side and Tacoma are big in Seattle because there's more of the Black community is in the South Side of Seattle, which I am not from. I'm from Shoreline. So if it
Mm.
wasn't for my friend Camila inviting me to join the choir, I would have never been able to be in the Total Experience Gospel Choir.
Wow.
But yeah, I would say they're there for sure.
So when you started working with like hip hop artists and rappers, was it like were you more of like the chorus most of the time, or?
Always. I don't rap. Um, I would write these hooks, and or they'd have a section for, okay, you sing there, you write a little hook. And so I'd write these hooks, and some of them sucked, and then some of them were amazing.
Wow.
As songwriting is, it's a trial and error.
Mm-hmm. So was it like I see like a lot of artists thinking it's like one feature away from blowing up, or did you feel like, and or like a lot of artists are starting to notice that they feel like they have to like leave the Seattle area and collaborate with artists outside of Seattle to maybe get the recognition they need. Did you have to leave Seattle and collaborate with other artists before you kind of got your name, or was like all these artists and it just led up to Macklemore and then?
It, I mean, I always say I was a whore for the opportunity to work with rappers that I was really influenced by. And I would meet them at doing shows, or they were looking for a male vocalist. And I just love the art of rap and music and singing being together. And so I would love to do a song with you. And it wasn't like I was thirsty. I just really was influenced and really wanted to work with these people. And in my mind, I felt, well, if I work with a bunch of different people, maybe someone will discover me,
Mm,
or something of that thing could happen. And so not only was I doing it for fun, because I really love music, it's something that's fun for me. I also thought, oh, this could be something. And that's how it all really started. For me, I didn't, some people have to leave Seattle to do something, and then some people just do stay home in
yeah,
Seattle. I always think there's no right formula with it. It's
yeah,
whatever works for you.
for sure. And Seattle is just like it's an interesting place because no one really thinks of Seattle as like a music hotspot, but we definitely have a lot of talented artists who are passionate about what they're doing.
I mean, we have so much history. We have Soundgarden, we have Nirvana, Quincy Jones is from Seattle, Jimi Hendrix. Uh, the R&B and soul music was really huge in Seattle in the 70s and 60s.
Hmm.
There's a lot of rich music culture in Seattle that I feel that isn't spoken enough. But it always, some years it's like it's been hip hop for a really long time, and then now it went into like an EDM thing, but
Yeah.
now it's kind of like Seattle has changed, and so kind of we're gonna see what the next genre that will be in Seattle. But it always elevates to something. I always say.
Is there like there should be like a Netflix series on the Seattle history. That'd be sick. Like of the music history in Seattle and
Yeah.
like all the way up to like Little Mosey or something. Or maybe there's other artists that have
Yes.
blown up past him, you know, maybe like there's always artists popping up in Seattle. Maybe whether like even people in Seattle see it or not, it's like it's weird. But
All they think of is Starbucks and Amazon. Oh, that's where Boeing and Amazon is, right? It's like
oh my
so
god.
much more than that. Come on.
So do you still stay in Seattle? Like is your home base here basically or
Yeah, my home is based in Seattle.
oh
I
wow.
travel a lot for music, and I'm an adventurous, so I always like to just escape for a little bit sometimes. But Seattle is definitely my home.
Yes. Do you
Yeah.
like do you know like all the restaurants here in Seattle? Like I'm
Oh
still
yes, yes.
what's your
I
favorite
love
one?
that. It always depends on the mood, you know. If you
Yeah.
want a good steak, I love the butcher table. There's mojito in Lake City, like good Cuban food. I mean, momiji's for sushi.
Oh yeah,
You
sushi's the
know,
best.
I love it all. I love it all.
I can't believe there's people who like have been born and raised in Seattle who don't like sushi. I'm like, if you're from Seattle and you don't like sushi, what's going on?
I know, with all that good fish too.
It's it's crazy. So how did the Macklemore feature end up? Like how did that happen? Just working
Um,
with Seattle artists and it just popped off or
yeah, I wrote a song with Saul called "I Need Your Love."
okay.
I featured on it, and I think like 3 years later, Ryan Lewis heard it and just asked me to come to the studio, and I just would go to the studio like all the time, and we'd write melodies and write melodies, and he would just, I made this beat, show me what you do, and I would just, and it was so much fun because it was
Hmm.
like, ooh, this is cool, and then that led into the Can't Hold Us collaboration, which then led into me getting to tour with them for a certain amount of years, and that's it. Just everything kind of blew up within that year span. It's just like, all right, you're doing a show. Oh, all these songs blew up. Do you want to go on tour with us?
Wow.
And I was like, okay. Like it was such an amazing time.
So it really was just like the collaborating pathway for you and that's how like
Hmm.
wow.
I mean, that worked for me.
Yeah.
I know. I hear Adele was discovered by doing a show.
Hmm.
So that, going back to your question, I know I'm leading back, but for me, it was for me to just kind of collab and be inspired in different genres.
Wow. Do you still focus on the Seattle music scene here at all or
No, unfortunately, I don't. I'm always trying to learn in different places. So for the music that I've been creating, I was in Sweden working with a lot of Swedish
wow.
producers, in LA, Berlin. I love to travel and I like to explore things. So I don't know much about the Seattle music scene, but it's always going. I know it is.
Hell yeah. That's interesting. Wow, you're just from Seattle and you're just going freaking Sweden, every place like that. That must be like a dream come true, honestly.
It really is because I love to travel. I think it's a great way to just discover new things, be inspired, see different cultures. It's just the best way for me to live.
And I heard you're like into tennis also, and even in your new music
Yeah.
video, there's like you're doing tennis.
Yeah, I love tennis. I've been playing since I was pretty young, and I still play too. I'm in
Hmm.
a league.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we have playoffs coming soon, so yeah,
Wow. Where's
yeah,
that gonna
man.
be at?
It will be in Seattle, Sandpoint.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Is there allowed to be like an audience, or is it like how's COVID with tennis?
Dude, it's so weird. It sucked. It's like people, we're not allowed to shake at all. We're like, we clink our rackets, like, good job. And no spectators. We play. We get a certain amount of time to warm up. We have to be off the court in 90 minutes. Whoever's winning wins. You can't like fight for your spot or like, oh, I'm down, I can make a comeback. Nope, the minutes are up, so you have to be done. So that's the only thing that sucks about it, but it's better than not playing at all. So I'll take it.
Do you have to wear masks while you're playing?
No, we don't.
Good.
Or I wouldn't show up. I'd be like,
just hyperventilating to the mask.
I'd probably be choking on my mask. I grunt so loud.
You need to have you have to have Wikipedia update your Wikipedia page then. Like for some reason it says like it says you started your music career and completely dropped tennis altogether, basically. That's what it says on your Wikipedia. I'm like, what? Ooh. It seems like you're really into tennis. So I felt like I had to like check in with you on that.
I played competitive tennis, and you tell one interviewer something and I think people change it up, because I heard I was a tennis instructor. People be like, oh, tell me about you being a tennis instructor. And I don't want to fuck up their interview. I just want to be like, well, I wasn't a tennis instructor. I played tennis. I'm always like, yeah, I played tennis. I did play. I definitely grew up competitive tennis. And with music, I just saw a future there more than I did tennis. Mm-hmm. My dad really pushed sports because he was a single parent and he couldn't afford for me and my sister both to go to college. So he really invested and put a lot of time in for us to get like athletic scholarships. And when I stopped playing tennis, my dad kind of freaked out.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so bad. Like, now we're good, but the first part of me trying to make a music career, my dad was not a supporter and not a big fan of me doing music.
I feel like I feel like it's like a 70, it's not a 50-50. It's like a 70-30 for like 70% of parents don't want their kids to go start music. And then 30% will be like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Cause everyone hears the horror stories. I don't think they want that for their kids. Like, what if nothing happens and you didn't go to college when you could have got it, and I think it's always cool when I hear parents are like, yeah, we just gave them an opportunity, but that's a beautiful situation that doesn't happen to everybody. But yeah, I was blessed,
Mm-hmm. Were you a varsity tennis player when you were?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And then outside of school, I played in tournaments. Wow. So on the weekends, we were traveling to go play a tournament.
And how different is tennis than like pickleball? Like, if you're good at tennis, are you good at pickleball too then? Or
yeah, I mean, the fundamentals are the same. It's like, follow through. You have to put more topspin, and you got to get more low on the pickleball. And pickleball, you serve underhand. Tennis, you serve overhand. Yeah, they're very similar though.
Yeah.
Are you playing pickleball right now?
I'm okay at pickleball. I'm terrible at, because I feel like pickleball is easier because like the tennis racket, you can just send it flying, but pickleball, it's like wood and then like a plastic ball usually, and it's not as easy to send that thing flying as it is with tennis.
It's a lot easier for sure.
I want to get better at tennis though. I feel like it looks easy kind of, but I don't think it's easy whatsoever.
It's a muscle memory sport, so you just have to get a lot of reps for you to like, okay, this feels right. And it's not springing on the court. So like the more times you play, the better you are.
Do you think it's as interesting as like, what do you think is more interesting? Like watching golf or tennis? Because I feel like
for sure.
Really?
I mean, you just see the athleticism when people are running on the court and they're sliding. Yeah. Golf, I'm like, great, they hit a ball. Like, that's great.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they don't run to get the ball,
Yeah.
I might get in trouble. All the golf people might come up to me.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you, man.
Do you have a golf game at all?
Hmm?
Do you have a good golf game at all?
No, it sucks.
I feel like golf courses are closed right now too. Anyways, I think so. Like with this whole COVID.
I don't know. I saw that some of my friends are golf players, and some of them were playing during the COVID.
Oh.
Like a lot of them were playing golf during COVID
Hmm.
because you don't need to be around people for golf.
I think I'm listening too much to Joe Rogan. Then Joe Rogan's like saying like in LA and stuff. Maybe Seattle's different, but like in
Oh,
California, everyone's
Seattle.
just freaking out.
Yes. California is shutting down. Um, no, Seattle had golf courses open.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So let's break down this like music video. You just released this song with the music. Did you release the music video and the song on the same day?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And break down this music video. It's a really cool ass music video. You go from
Thank you,
the
man.
colors and everything. It's just tell the audience the name of it, by the way, the song.
The song is called "Don't Make Me Miss You."
It's probably my favorite song by you now.
Thank
honestly.
you. It's one of my babies. I've saved it for sure. It's
Oh wow.
one of my babies.
When did you write it then? Like how long have you been holding on to it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if this is bad to say, but I wrote it in 2014
Wow.
with a songwriter named Little Eddie, and we just wrote it together. We weren't writing to I think we're always writing to release music, but we were just writing just to write and vent. And it was kind of like I would say something and he'd be like, "Oh, that'd be dope." And then I'd sing something and he would write it because I love making melodies. That's my big thing. But then "Don't Make Me Miss You" came out, and I wasn't signed at the time. So that's the reason why I saved it, because I didn't want to release it and not be signed.
Right.
I felt like if I was signed, it's such a beautiful pop song. It'd have like a better push, and I felt like it deserved that.
So you knew it was special. It definitely sounds like a special song.
It is. It really is. I saved it. I have some other ones that I've saved. I just wanted it to have the right opportunity.
Wait, so who are you signed by right now?
I am signed to Epic Germany.
Oh shit! Wait, Germany?
Yes.
How does that happen if you're in Seattle?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm signed with Epic Germany, which is partnered with Sony
Okay.
in Europe. So all of the push and the radio stuff has been in the Europe scenes.
Like from what my understanding, like outside of the country, that's where actually people get huge amount of like listeners and fans. Like, of course, here in America, we have tons of fans, but like,
yeah,
pushing it outside to go global, that's where you get like a lot of the good money and listeners, realistically.
You know, I released my song "If You Fall," and within the 5 months, it went viral in England, and it was on the viral charts, or new song charts, like number 6, number 9. And so a lot of the European labels were like, "Yo, tell me about this song. What are you doing with your career?
Oh shit.
Come over here, let's talk." And I was like, "Well, all right, let's do it." And the people that I just had the best connection with were my team from Epic Germany.
Wow.
I mean, they took me out of the office. Like I played them the music. I took them out of the office. They're like, "You know what? Let's go talk and not be super businessy. Do you want to go to a bar? Want to go to a pub?" I was like, "Okay." Wow. And so I got a tequila margarita, and we just talked about music and what I wanted to do, and it made me feel so connected to them, and they were the perfect fit for me.
Wow. So it wasn't like you like intentionally were going out of your way to go viral outside of the country, or it just...
Oh yeah, it was just organic. I didn't think any of that would happen. I thought probably I'd get signed in the US before I got signed in Europe, but it happens how it happens, and I'm grateful for it.
Wow. Wait, how?
Because now we get to talk about music that I've just released, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. How long have you been signed now then?
I think I've been signed for about 2 years now.
Wait, so you're independent like the whole time? Like, you didn't have a label or anything? Like, how did that happen? time through like Macklemore's thing and up
Oh
until
yeah, yeah.
wow.
Independent. Until I released In My Bones, I was signed. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, man.
shit. So what are you probably have like a lot of pros and cons then of being like independent and signed, like for like the audience or like up and coming artists, like what are some pros and cons that you've seen?
Pros and cons I've seen. Well, I think the tough thing is for me, I always am super anal about things and I want to control it
Mm-hmm.
because the visuals, the songs that I want to put out, everyone has to agree and like the vision, which the team loves. So I'm lucky, but sometimes, you don't get to be creative in that way, or you don't get as much creative control. Um, that's been tough to have more people in the kitchen, but my team is such a good team that we make it. We have this understanding. It's like whatever is best for the song and the visual and Ray Dalton's career, you know? And that's something that I really love, but it also, I get irritated for sure.
Right.
With independent, I just was sick of funding everything.
Yeah.
It's a
Oof.
lot. And for the visions that I have, they're not cheap. My If You Fall video was an expensive video, and I'd do it all over again. But it's nice when you have a label backing you and they can push it, because some people not independent, being independent can't work for every single artist.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds great on paper, but at the end of the day, I'm not doing this to make $1 million.
Right.
I'm here to sell my story, to share my voice. I want to travel all over the world. That has always been the goal, not for
Yes.
money. And so I think it's been great having a label. I
Hell
love
yeah.
being signed with a label. And
You're
my
living
team
your
is
dream.
incredible. And I am living my dream.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this music video was not shot in 2014 when you wrote this
No,
song. So,
it
so
wasn't.
what was the process behind making this music video? Like the lighting and everything. It was a good way to enter 2021. I feel like just
Yeah.
on a happy note, even though it's a sad song, kind of, but it works.
It's in an upbeat way.
Yeah.
Um, the music video for Don't Make Me Miss You is a very colorful video. And it's like the mood of everything: new love, new excitement, sadness, blues, green, like going with the flow. And then the white is always like that white rose at the end.
Mm.
And I just wanted a visual of color, and I wanted some type of storyline. And my friend Jax, who was the director of the video, she made my vision come to life. And that was her with, all right, the set designs and all of that. And she just made it come to life. And color is a big thing. I love color. I'm obsessed with color.
Hell yeah.
And she did an incredible job with the video. And my friend Anna had me dancing. I was doing some dance moves
with the microphone.
Ooh,
Yeah, that
yes,
was
baby.
little twirl. You're like, that was
Yeah, a little twirl, a little pop.
yes. It was everything was very aesthetically pleasing. Like even the like the actor guy who had like the beard and the circle glasses. I was like, I don't know why I was thinking about it, but while I was watching the video, I was like, could anyone else fit this role? And I was like, no, this is very aesthetic. How the guy has the beard and the glasses, it's very hip. It's very cool. I like it.
Yeah, Joe is a pretty incredible individual. We shot the video in Detroit.
Okay.
And everyone on the crew was from Detroit. And I don't know if you've ever been to Detroit.
I have not.
They have some swag there.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of just culture. They're very together, and they just have definitely a different type of element of swag there. And so everyone really was super incredible, creative, and that really helped the music video, I feel.
So after like traveling the world so much and like coming back to Seattle, like what have you noticed about Seattle like after traveling so much? You probably have a different perspective.
You know, it makes me just appreciate home even more.
Yeah.
I think Seattle, yes, it's changed a lot, but I really think it's an incredible place. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else or been raised anywhere else. Um, there's something about flying in on a rainy day that's like, Ray, you're home.
Wow.
It just makes me feel good. I love being home. Um, I do think we need a little better nightlife.
Mm.
I think we need, we need a better nightlife. We need more opportunities for us to be able to meet people and dance longer and have good times with our friends. That's all I feel like. I get sad when it's 2 a.m. and they're kicking us out of the bars. I wanna keep going. I wanna keep dancing. I wanna keep meeting people. I wanna keep drinking a little tequila, I just
Yeah.
think we need more things at night.
Right.
Yeah.
So musically, how was 2020 for you?
Music 2020 has been an incredible year for me.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't able to travel and promote my singles, but I still got to have a good time and release music, and the songs did extremely well, and even Can't Hold Us, it hit 1 billion
Oh
streams
shit.
in 2020. So it wasn't the worst thing
Wow.
for me musically. It was a new learning experience for sure.
What'd you learn about yourself?
I learned that I'm turning into an introvert
Hmm.
a little bit. But I also learned that I never thought that it was kind of like a training wheel kind of times of doing interviews. I really needed to practice interviews. It kind of gave me a glimpse of what is gonna come if I just keep doing what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, I really just discovered being alone really helped me grow as an
Hmm.
artist, which is so weird for me to say because I love to be around people. I'm truly an extrovert, but I just felt like it made me kind of be like, yo, I'm gonna be okay. Like I would rather be by myself and write songs and be creative. And I feel like it really helped me.
That's the way you want to come out of 2020, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's a it's definitely feels like 2021 is an extension of 2020. But I feel like if you were set up either financially or just, had the safety of being home and have some type of work, it was a good time to take time for like self and personal growth. And I feel like it's good when artists like you, like, make happy songs during times like this to like unite people. And Can't Hold Us, it makes sense why it would hit 1 billion during a freaking pandemic, right? I just feel like, I don't know, something has to change that like brings us more together though, because I feel like a lot of people are like, it's even starting to affect me, and I'm a very, very happy guy. I got a Mickey Mouse right here, got him on my arm, got
I
an
see it.
afro. Like, I'm a
It's
happy
beautiful.
guy. But I feel like the end of 2020 was like, it started to dawn on me that it's like been close to a year of like being in this, and like people are starting, like even the most happiest of people are like starting to like, whether it's on purpose or not, like either like self-sabotaging themselves or just like getting gloomy. And there needs to be some type of light, I feel like. But I don't know, hopefully 2020 will be this light, and we're just like, it just hasn't happened yet, but I feel like something's going to happen that will hopefully bring us together. Like, what do you think?
You know what? I feel like we can't expect a year that's gonna, like, just because it's a new year, that's gonna make us feel better.
Hmm.
I think it's important. Little things, I think, are the most important things to make ourselves happy.
Right.
You know? Yeah, we can't go to a restaurant, but we could have a couple friends over and make food and have a fellowship. You know, no, we can't go travel to Hawaii, but we can get in a car and go drive to the forest and do those little things just for ourselves. I feel like people forget to be creative in what they could do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something that I feel if we all kind of work together and to maybe create something where we all can be together, or a small amount of group of people can go do something, you know? Nature has been there since the beginning of time. You
Yes.
know, we don't need some machine to make us feel good. We can go out there and do something if we could just put our minds to it and figure out something that would just be cool.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's very important that, you know, for the people who need to heal themselves, I think nature is like the best way. I think it's okay if we meet our friends, you know, fondue party or whatever, you
Oh
know,
shit.
take it back to like when we were kids, you know, slumber parties, you know.
Yeah. Don't get me started on fondue. I've been craving fondue for like 2 weeks now. And
Really?
my family said that they told me that we were gonna do like we were supposed to do fondue on Christmas, but no one told me that. So that like they're like, yeah, we had like a family meeting if we wanted to do fondue, and everyone said no. And I was like, what are you talking about? I do not remember this conversation at all. I would have been down. And now no one wants to do fondue, and you can't just eat fondue by yourself, right?
No.
So I'm like, I've been just going out of my mind wanting fondue for like the past 2 weeks. It
Dude,
just
I'll
sounds
do
so good.
fondue with you. I'll do fondue.
Hell yeah, let's set it up. Yes. It has to be all like it has to be the savory. It has to be the chocolate. And what's the
Yep.
cheese one, right?
The
Oh,
cheese one, there's a cheese. Some people do the broth
yes.
and then the chocolates.
Yes. Oh my
Oh man.
God. See, like who
Get
could
some
turn that
pound
down?
cake. You know what I'm saying? I know. What's wrong with your friends? What's
Oh
going on with them?
shit.
They're afraid of the cheese.
Yes, the pound cake. That's what I've been really wanting so
Oh
bad.
my.
Different.
With some strawberries too.
Oh
Oh,
shit. Yes.
dip it with the strawberry and then the chocolate.
Yeah, man, we gotta set that up. Holy shit.
Dude, next
That's
interview.
crazy.
We'll do one live when the pandemic is.
Oh yeah.
I'm so much better with people's energy. I always am like self-conscious when I do interviews.
We'll do like a cooking show type interview, like
Oh
Martha Stewart or
yes,
something.
that would be great.
Yeah, fondue with Blake and Ray. Oh shit. There we go. So did you set any like New Year's resolutions for 2021?
You know, I don't really do New Year's resolutions.
Hmm.
I have things I'm trying to work on. And my thing is like, I just want to be consistent and just keep going for those things, you know?
Right.
Um, but I always say I need to be more adventurous every year. And I want to travel more than I did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So those I feel like are my two big things because I feel like I don't do them enough. But those have been my big things.
Hell yeah.
Being consistent, traveling more, for sure.
Do you have any goals then for like music goals or any projects they're gonna hopefully be releasing in 2021?
Oh yeah, my big goal is to pull off. I want to get at least 5 songs out this year.
Oh yeah.
I would like to release more music this year. That's a big goal for me. Yeah, and I want to go to the Caribbean. I've never
Oh
been.
shit. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I really would love to do that and go write songs with some friends for like a month.
Wow.
And just like not talk to anyone, but just write. Maybe my Aunt Rhonda for sure.
Hell
I
yeah.
gotta talk to my Aunt Rhonda.
Shout out Aunt Rhonda.
Hey, Aunt Rhonda, I love you.
So do you have like a home studio that you're able to work on when you're at home, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, my friend Dan has a home studio and we work so well together. And he's a great engineer and guitarist. He's in most of all my videos that I've been doing to promote In My Bones and interview performances. So I'm with him at least 3 times a week.
Wow.
Because the songs are doing great, and so I've been doing a lot of press. So I'm always at his house in his studio, and we're always working.
That's good. That's good.
And that's in Shoreline, where I'm from.
Okay. Do you still live up in Shoreline then? Oh wow. I recently moved
Oh
up
no,
to
I don't. I live downtown.
Oh, downtown. That's
I
dope
live
as fuck.
downtown. Yeah, but I love Shoreline. It's my
Yeah.
hometown.
How did you feel about like all the protests that took place in downtown? That was craziness.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Were you home when that all happened? Like, could you see it from?
I was home. I would hear it on my balcony, and I would go outside and I'd watch, and it was intense, man. A lot of breaking buildings, which, I just stay out of all the politics stuff. It's just not something I usually.
Same.
Yeah, I don't. It's not as positive for me to talk about. I feel I'd rather just be like, how can I help you? I'd love to help anybody, but I'm not a big politic kind of guy. So it was just sad to see all of that happen, for sure.
I felt like what I did notice though, like when it comes to, like the local scene, a lot of artists like came together during that time period to like help like unite people, which I thought was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
But you just gotta make the most out of whatever situation,
I agree. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, Ray, what is some advice that you have for up and coming artists, creators, influencers?
Advice I have. I think the number one advice is just to finding new ways to love what you do. Because as we're always chasing something, we forget why we love to do it in the first place. And I always feel like the more I love things, the more inspired I am. So I always say, don't invest so much of don't forget about investing the reason why you love doing what you do and exploring new things about that. And I also feel like a lot of people will say no to you. And I always say, just flip them the bird and you will find someone who will say yes.
Hell yeah.
And work hard, work your ass off.
Hell yeah. And what is the easiest way for people to reach you or follow you?
On my Instagram, Ray Dalton Music. That's the best way to follow me. On TikTok and Facebook. I'm on it all, really.
Hell yeah.
I have fun with it. It used to stress me out, but now I just don't care. I'm just like, whatever, let's post it. I want it to be colorful and I want to be goofy, and that's really what I do on TikTok. I just do the stupidest, goofiest things, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah, and it seems like you got like a pretty loyal fan base too, so that must help.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love them.
Hell yeah. Do you have a name for them?
Feel good. No, I don't have a name for them. No, I just love them. That's what I say. I love you. I love you.
Hell yeah.
Because I do. Maybe I'll call them the I love yous, but I'm not gonna name my fans.
Well, this is the NAST podcast with
Ray Dalton.
Hell yeah. There we go.